Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Let's go. Good morning. My name is George Bell. Today's Grow with Google workshop would be on how to protect yourself from online scams. Okay. So you'll start by learning how to open. So you'll start by just going over a few things. We'll just skip the setup, the Google Doc part today, and we'll just go over some general information. So we'll learn pretty much what are online scams, how to protect yourself, how to protect your information, three examples of scams, phishing, job romance, as well as a sign of scams. These are some different things that we'll go over today. All of that stuff. Okay, let's get right into some info. Let's start by defining the word scam. So, a scam is a deliberate attempt to cheat someone out of their money or personal information. It's very important that we do whatever it takes to make sure that all of our information is safe. The information is very important to our customers as well as is very important to our business itself. So, scams are nothing new. People have been finding ways to take advantage of scams for as long as time as allowed. But the rise of the internet and social media has made it easier. So it's new forms of technology has made it easier for scammers to do what they do, meaning making our job harder and make sure it's more important that we do the necessary things to stop scams from happening. Since you can communicate with just about anyone online, people want to commit scams. Scammers can use the internet to quickly, easily contact people with online presence. Scammers can work anonymously by building websites, emails, and fake social media profiles, which can make it difficult or impossible to track them down. So we have to make sure that we're being very careful when using our social media platforms as well as our emails, which I'm sure they'll give us some tips on how to protect ourselves while we are utilizing those tools. The goal of this workshop isn't to make you distrust people online, but just more of a way for us to, kind of cross our T's, dot our I's, make sure that we're doing everything necessary to stay safe. Still, it's important to know how to spot potential scams so you can keep yourself and your personal information safe. So now, what do scammers want? Let's talk a bit about what scammers want from the people they contact on the internet. Scammers are generally looking for two things: money and personal info. Okay, so the money that scammers are looking from can come from various forms, including bank payments, wire transfers, credit or debit card payments, or even gift cards. They may try to get personal information that can help them access your bank account, social media accounts, or other personal online information. So you want to make sure that we're doing the necessary things to make sure that our usernames and passwords are safe via the websites and social media accounts that we use, as well as our social security number and our bank account info. They can use this information to steal your identity, contact your friends and family, or gain access to your accounts and even your devices. Scammers can also make money by selling your personal information to a third party. The third party can use that personal information for their own purposes. So we want to make sure that we're not only being careful of people that we share information with, but other people who can potentially give out our information as well. So there are types of personal information that may seem less confidential than passwords, but they are still important to keep private for the sake of your online security. If you log into an online bank for extra security, you might be asked a question like, "What is your mother's maiden name?" or "What is your first pet?" Be wary of anyone online who tries to get that type of information from you as well. Um, these security questions are designed to be easy for you to remember and hard for someone else to guess. If you use social media, you've likely come across quizzes that claim to figure out things about your personality, or maybe even been asked to answer questions like, "What would you be if you were a character in a popular TV show?" These seemingly harmless quizzes are often scams designed to get the answers to those hard to guess security questions, protecting your online accounts. Avoid participating in online quizzes that encourage you to share this kind of information. So, I guess going out there, people are using information gained from some of these quizzes, and they are using them directly to try to get your information by logging in using those um, security questions that we're all very familiar with, I'm sure. So the good news is that you can outsmart scammers by learning the signs of potential scams and be always protecting your personal information online. We'll spend the rest of this workshop discussing some frequently attempted scams so you'll know how to recognize and protect yourself. Everything going on? Can we still hear me okay? Just a little quick check in. Am I good still? Okay. Take that as a yes. Let's do it. Let's keep on right along. So let's go ahead and get into some scam examples. Let's take a look at a few of examples of scams that you might encounter online. After you see each example, you'll have the chance to type your thoughts and observations in a Google Doc, um, which we skipped today, but just kind of keep a mental note and maybe even take some personal notes if possible. So here with this email, we can see you got from bigcitybank@gmail.com to your personal information. Got the email subject, all general email stuff that you'll usually see on a day-to-day basis. But here you'll see um, you have them trying to secure your account and um, get into your email. This is a warning email that you might generally see from your bank, have in case they ever seen anything. So let's take a moment to talk about some of the signs that we spotted in this email. So this is an example of a type of scam called phishing. Phishing is a scammer's impersonation of a company or person in order to trick someone into giving their valuable information. Using phishing takes place through emails. You got internet ads, copies of websites, and they will usually look similar to the ones that you already use. So, for example, you could receive an email from a bank account or a store where you shop and online payment processes stating that there's a problem with your account and you need your login information to fix it. Next thing you know, you have someone out there randomly who has your information. This is one of your most common scams that you'll see all the time within probably every company you work for or wherever you go with that or with whatever you do within your life, you'll see different types of phishing scams. Very common. Urgency. So, since this email states that you have to act immediately, it creates urgency to get you to send your information quickly. Urgency is a tool used by scammers. They want you to respond right away. Other scams may use urgency by telling you that an offer is only available for a limited time or someone is in need of immediate help. Um, the real purpose of urgency as a scam is to get you to finish a transaction or send information before you stop to think through or talk to anyone over it. Um, if you think a situation is urgent, you are far more likely to send your personal information or money than you would in an everyday situation. I'm sure we all have examples of something similar to this. I know myself, I have. Scams often contain links or forms to fill out. These may also be attachments to other links, that open attachments that can be sent in emails via social media, messaging, or even via text. So links can be used to collect information about you. They can upload dangerous material to your device. It can also get access to your email contacts. Likewise, scammers use forms to collect your information. Some of these scams encourage people to open attachments which can upload a virus or harmful programming to your computer or device. If you're not sure whether something is a scam, don't click on the link, okay? So, or fill out any forms or open any attachments from questionable source. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything to double check what we're clicking on, forms that we're filling out, and opening attachments, especially when dealing with sensitive information of a company that you work for or your own personal sensitive information. Legitimate businesses will never ask you for your login information or other personal details through email. If a business is legitimate, the business needs you to log into your account. They will instruct you how to open their website or their app, sign in, and send your information in securely. If you receive a questionable email from a bank or other businesses where you have an account, you can call these businesses directly, then ask them about it. And a lot of times they'll tell you that they had no responsibility of the stuff that you got. If you need to visit a business website, type their website address into the browser or search bar online rather than clicking any link provided in a suspicious communication. So if you get a chance to so you should reach out to those businesses when you are um, a victim of these scams, just to ensure before you are to open up any links or open up any attachments. You should definitely Google search the business before any of those links. Threatening tones. I have personally been a victim of a scam such as this, which scammers may also use threats, threatening tone to get money or information. Threats can scare people into giving their information or a payment before they realize that they are being scammed. So, threats can make people think that they will lose something important like housing or access to the computers. People can also be threatened by humiliation. With examples, scammers might send an email claiming that they've hacked your device and they have some embarrassing footage of you. Sometimes will include a password or email to prove they are serious. Then they will demand you their money in order for you to stop the disturbance footage. Um, they'll have to receive a communication like this. It's best part not to reply to the email or respond in any way. So a lot of times you could be threatened into getting scammed as well as blackmailed into getting scammed. So you want to make sure that you're being careful of things of that nature as well. So what would you do? Feel free to put in the comments below or tap in the chat here of some of the things that you do to stop yourself from being victim of any scams. Okay, right along. So if you receive an email that you suspect that is phishing, you have a few options. Okay. So if you know that the email is fake, you can just ignore it. If the email claims to be from an organization you are involved with or someone you know, reach out to them directly. Do not respond to the email, but contact them using a known email address. Okay, so and also another good option that you can do is you can speak to someone over the phone. That's always a good option. Um, do not click any links or open attachments. Again, just trying to reiterate that you really don't want to click on any links or any attachment that, especially ones that you're not familiar with. Finally, if you know an email is phishing, you have an option of reporting it. The next slide will show you how to do that. Okay, so we'll get to the next slide and it'll show you on how to report these scams. As you are reporting these scams, you want to make sure that you're being careful in doing so. Okay, so one specific way you can do is sorry, pull that up. So here, so pretty much as you can see me, you will open an email, you will click more, and then you could click report phishing. After you press the three dotted line, they have pull up another menu to give you some more options. And as you can see, you'll see report phishing right there. Um, this is important just to kind of minimize the amount of phishing that we are seeing. We want to make sure that we are reporting different scams that we come across and make sure that we are other businesses or friends or whomever is not a victim to these scams as well. So Also, another one that you'll see a lot are employment scams. So, employment scams are often to offer jobs that seem to be too good to be true, or it could just seem like good jobs for you. They may state that they require a few hours and pay very well. Often, scammers will claim you'll be able to earn lots of money by doing something easy from home, like online shopping or playing video games. Or you may respond to a job posting you found on a website and find that the employer wants to hire you without an interview or background check. These are two clear indications that something might be going up and something might be a little fishy. Um, the scams may start as soon as you apply for the job. When scammers ask for your personal information to the process through the process of the application, or it also could be after they claim that they have hired you when they ask for your bank information to be able to process your payments that they quote unquote will be sending you. So yeah, so again, just very important that we are looking out for scams in general. And you will see a lot of examples of employment scams as well. One sign of an employment scan is if you are asked to pay about anything up front, you may be told that in order to start the job, you have to pay for training or pay for fees for software or credit report or have your resume reviewed. An honest employer will never ask you to pay money or provide your credit card information in order to get a job. Spotting employment scams can be difficult because legitimate employers may also ask for personal information. They usually require your social security number and may also ask you for your bank information if you decide to set up a direct deposit. However, do not provide that information unless you are certain that the job is legitimate and it's not a scam. Yeah, so kind of like how we reiterated earlier, make sure that you're taking the precautions to make sure that something is not a scam, and employment scams are one of those. Give the job a research if you see the scam, see on their official website, see and make sure that they have those same um, positions open, and however else you can strategize to ensure that you're being safe and protected. So the warning signs a lot of times can be as simple as just too good to be true. The saying "if there's something too good to be true" it probably applies here for sure. Scammers often make offers that are too good to be true. This tactic works in the same way as creating a sense of urgency. It gets you excited, so you don't stop to think about the act before you end up accidentally giving up your personal information. Um, the ad we looked at is offering a job with high pay that only requires 15 hours of a work week and no interview is required. So it's very important that we are able to identify and use our common sense to know that something like that probably is not true. Scammers may offer you an opportunity to make a lot of money with almost no effort. They may pose as an enthusiastic recruiter offering you an amazing, easy, and profitable job. Okay, so again, we just want to make sure that we are not falling victim to something that is too good to be true. Okay, because truly, the fact of the matter is that the recruiters ask for payment up front is a red flag. You'll very rarely, actually, you'll never see that. Is a recruiter asking for money up front. No legitimate job should require you to pay for training or to complete a credit check in order to begin. You also should not be required to provide personal information like your address, social security number, bank information until you've been offered the job and can verify that the company's roles are both legitimate and trustworthy. Okay, so again, just make sure that we're double checking using common sense. Um, a lot of times in these scam attempts, you will see typos. One possible sign of a scam is seeing a word that is misspelled, also known as typo. In a job listing, email, or ad, if you notice that a lot of grammar mistakes, a scammer may have created that content that you're viewing. Um, it is possible for legitimate communications for companies to contain mistakes and errors, but most will have someone proofread their work carefully so that it's not very common that you'll see many errors within companies or businesses that are looking to hire. So just make sure that that's also something that you keep in the back of your mind to identify a scam if you come victim to one. Another potential sign of a scam is a mistake. It is design element of a communication. If a scammer is impersonating an actual company, a company logo, or other related images may not look right. For example, the color or the sizing of the logo may look slightly different. However, if scammers are very careful, they can make materials that look very convincing. If a communication error is free and looks right, but is otherwise suspicious, you should not trust that as legitimate. If you see a job if you see a job that is advertised online and that appears too good to be true, verify with the internet search. Search for the name of the company, the job title, even the contact that you've been in communication with. You can also type in the company's name and the word scam into the internet to see if there's been any other experiences with similar scams. Don't pay for any training or other job associated costs ahead of time. Don't give away your personal information until you have managed to verify that job is legitimate. So again, make sure that we're doing our research on any job offerings that we get, and we're doing our due diligence to make sure that these are not scams. Again, I just missed that slide. There you go. In order to research a suspicious job offer or a company, here are some steps that you can take. So you will want to type google.com in your browser. Um, or any search browser that you're comfortable with. You want to search into Google. You want to put the name of the company as well as any. You want to put the name of the company with associated with any scams, just so you can be able to do a deep dive. Okay, you connect with a person on social media who seems like a great match. The relationship progresses quickly as you have had many common interests and experience. You invite them out for several dates at a time, but they're never able to meet in person. You get to know each other through chatting and text. After a week or two, the person writes you an urgent message that they're having a medical emergency and need you to send them money to help pay their medical bills. Okay, so a lot of times you can become a victim of scams via romance connections. So make sure that we're being aware of that too. Um, Dating and romance scams can be initiated through online. It could be through social media, it could be on dating apps, and it could be on different websites. For their profile pictures, romance scams also use photos they find online from actual dating profiles or stock photographs. Scam relationships tend to use progress quickly without any face to face interaction. So, when someone asks to meet in person and at the last minute, will always find a way to prevent from that happening, it's likely that they can be a scammer and will live too far away to visit or have something other issues that come within will come from them not being able to travel. The scammers may then soon claim to have financial emergencies and ask you for a payment, gift card, or other forms of financial assistance. If the scammer receives payment, the request continues and increases over time. So you just want to make sure that we're being careful with different romance scams and different people that we are connecting with, because sometimes they can be just people trying to um, use you for their benefit. So a lot of times, like we alluded to earlier, a lot of times this will be too good to be true. It often seems that someone who is too good to be true. Scammers can be experts at telling you what you want to hear. They may find pictures of other people online that claim that they are pictures of themselves, and then you'll have urgency as well in this type of scam. This person will suddenly grow close with the sudden emergency and then need your help. um, Once you've sent the money, they'll likely scam you and find reasons to keep asking for more. um, Finally, You'll have a request for payments. There are a lot of different ways of romance scams to ask for money. They may ask for you to transfer wires, again, gift cards, or maybe just have you cover some expenses or buy things that they want. If you ever been involved with someone romantically and you feel like they were a romance scammer, let me hear the story in the comments below, or let me see in the chat some of the stories that you might have. So, ways to avoid these romance scams. Very important tips. So take your time getting to know some on online before you get into a serious relationship. Insist on meeting someone in person, safely, and in public early in the relationship. Don't send them money, gift cards, or other forms of financial support. Okay. Listen to your friends and family who express concerns about your online relationships or relationship. And when you're talking to someone online, ask for more photos. Make sure you get a good look and make sure you're able to confirm that this person is actually who they say they are. You want to help improve that they are the person they claim to be by asking them to take many photos, maybe even a photo with the daily newspaper or a photo touching the nose, a goofy photo, just something that you can be able to definitely identify that that person is who they say they are in real time. Again, so take your time, meet in person, safely in public, don't send money, listen to friends and family. You also can do reverse engine. You also could do a reverse image search. So you can take a photo, put it in a Google browser bar, then press enter on the keyboard or other device. Click the camera icon to search by image. Click the tab, upload the image. Then you'll get the results. Will possibly find a related search of the visual similar. If you have the same photo somewhere in the results, click to open it to see where the photo has maybe came from. Through this might not work for every photo based on the results. You should be able to figure out if a photo is authentic or not. So you're able to use Google search for images as well. So if you see an image of someone who is potentially your romantic, um, someone who you're might be getting romantically involved with, you might want to take that picture, search it on Google, and make sure that that image is not associated with anything else online, and make sure that that person is who they say they are. So now that we've had time, we've gone through some different examples of scams. Let's recap on some of the signs and potential scams we've covered. Okay. Um, so one of the big ones is too good to be true. Okay. So you want to remember that scammers want you to be excited about their offer, um, a person or opportunity to think clearly. Next, their urgency is something has to be immediate, or if scammers want you to believe that there are repercussions if you don't act right away. Your money likely to make a decision without taking time to think it through. Links and attachments are some of the quickest ways to scam someone. By clicking on a link or attachment, you can put your device and information at risk. Then there's requests for personal information. Remember, scammers can use your personal information to gain access to your bank, social media accounts, or even steal your identity. Legitimate companies will never ask for your bank account information or passwords or PIN numbers. Okay, so these are four big ones on how we identify these, and we're able to make sure that we are being careful with these four different scams. You'll likely be okay. Um, so ways that you can identify scams is a request for a payment is one of the clearest signs that scams is underway. Scammers may ask you for money transfers, gift cards, or other types of payments to help them cover expenses. When you see these typos like spelling errors in a communication, it may have come from a suspicious source. Mm. Also, a lot of times you'll have threats that can cause you to worry that you'll get in trouble. They are designed to make you take action because you're afraid of losing something or being embarrassed. So we've covered three common scams. Uh, these signs can apply to other scams. Similar tactics can be used by scammers over the phone or in a text. So today we had an opportunity to cover a lot of different information about scams and talked about different strategies you can use to help your personal information and make sure that you're staying safe while browsing online. You can set up a Google Doc and take notes on the scams that you learned about. Uh, we talked about different online scams and discussed the two main things that scammers are looking for from people online: money and personal information. We discussed ways you can protect the money and personal information from scammers. We also went through three examples of scams: an email phishing, a job scam, and an online romance scam. So those are the three examples of scams that um, we talked about. Finally, we reviewed the major warning signs of scams. While we did not cover every type of scam today, being able to recognize the signs will help you identify other types of scams as well. So these are just the most general, most common scams, probably especially when working within a company or a business. However, there are many different other scams that you have to be aware for too. But the kind of the thought process or thinking behind understanding these scams, a lot of times you'll understand other scams that you'll come across as well. So the goal of this workshop was not to make you afraid of using the internet, but instead the goal is just to provide you with some valuable information about scams. If you keep this information in mind as you use the internet, you'll be able to explore freely while keeping your money and your personal information safe. Okay, so uh, in no way should online scams discourage you from utilizing the internet as a tool. However, if you just make sure that you're keeping um, some of this stuff in mind, you'll also be safe and your information to be safe. Also, Grow with Google has some video lessons that you could check out on YouTube. So check out the Grow with Google YouTube channel as well as Chico Start YouTube channel, and you can find different information on not only scams but other anything around or associated with your business. If you're looking to start a new career and land a competitively paid job or build skills to grow your career, check out Google Career Certificates. And here you can check out some of the different things that they offer that you could potentially try out. You also have free online training tools with google.com/grow. Thank everyone so much for attending today's workshop. We truly value your feedback. If you would like to take a moment to share your thoughts, we appreciate it. I will send this slides out to anyone who may want to utilize them, as well as they will be on our Grow with Google. It'll be on our Chico Start YouTube channel. All right, thank you for your time, everyone. Bye.